We've all been there, right? You spot it, that weird, mysterious spot on the wall, maybe in the corner of the bathroom or on a windowsill, and your first thought is probably, ugh, is that just dirt or is it something worse? It's a super common moment of stress for any homeowner, and today we're going to get to the bottom of it.
But listen, before you do anything at all, the most important thing I can tell you is this. Stop scrubbing that spot. I know, your first impulse is to grab a sponge and just attack it, but that could be the absolute wrong move, because if it is mold, you might just be spreading the problem around. So let's take a breath and figure out what you're actually looking at first. Look, finding some random, unidentified splotch in your house is genuinely stressful. Your mind can immediately jump to the worst-case scenario. But hey, don't worry. We're going to approach this like detectives. We'll use a clear, step-by-step investigation to figure out what that spot really is.
Okay, before we dive into the really heavy stuff, let's talk about the most common culprits. You know, the things that are way less alarming. Because more often than not, what you're seeing is either just plain old dirt and dust, or a very common household guest called mildew. Getting a handle on these two first can save you a whole lot of unnecessary worry.
So let's break down the differences. Dirt or dust. It's typically powdery or flat. Just a simple layer of grime. And here's the key. It wipes away easily with just a cloth. Mildew, on the other hand, well, that's a surface-level fungus. It often looks kind of downy or fluffy, and it definitely won't just wipe away. You'll usually need a specific cleaner to get that stuff off.
All right, so what if it doesn't really seem like dirt and it's a lot more stubborn than mildew? Now we need to start looking for the signs of what we'll call problem mold. These are the clues that tell you it's time to pay a little closer attention.
And when we say problem mold, what are we even talking about? We're usually referring to specific types of fungi that can really dig in and make a home for themselves. You've probably heard of Stachybotrys, that's the one people call black mold, or maybe Aspergillus. These are the ones you want to identify correctly because they can be a sign of a deeper moisture issue and can even affect your home's air quality.
So what does it actually look like? Well, unlike flat dirt, problem mold has texture. It can look fuzzy, almost like a little patch of velvet on your wall. Or if the area is really wet, it can even be slimy to the touch. That three-dimensional quality is a huge clue. And here's a big misconception I want to clear up. Not all problem mold is black. I know black mold gets all the press, but this stuff can actually show up as green or black or even white. The color alone isn't what tells you the whole story, which is why we've got to look at all the clues together. Feeling a little more in control now? You should be, because I'm about to walk you through two incredibly simple tests you can do right now to gather some more evidence. You don't need any special equipment, just your senses, and believe it or not, a cotton swab. First up, we've got the smell test, and it's as simple as it sounds. Just carefully get close to the area and take a whiff. Dirt and dust, they're odorless, but mold? Oh, mold often has a very distinct smell. If you notice a persistent, musty, earthy, or damp odor, you know, that smell of a wet basement or damp soil, that is a really strong indicator you've got active mold growth. Next up is the texture test. Grab a simple cotton swab and just gently dab the spot. Now watch what happens. If it's just dust or dirt, it'll probably lift right off, clean onto the swab. But if it's mold, it will often smear. It'll seem embedded in the material. That's because it actually is. Its little root structures are growing into the surface, not just sitting on top. Okay, so you've done the visual check, you've done the smell test, and you've done the texture test. By now, you should have a much clearer picture of what you're dealing with. So let's bring all this amazing detective work together for a final summary. Here it is, the ultimate cheat sheet. On one side, we have dirt, wipes away, has no smell, and looks totally flat. On the other side, mold. It smears or seems embedded, it's got that classic musty smell, and it has a fuzzy or even slimy texture. Seeing them side by side like this makes the difference pretty undeniable, right? So let's lock in these key takeaways one more time. If it's flat and wipes away easily, it's probably just dirt. If it's a bit more stubborn but still looks like it's on the surface, could be mildew. But if it has a fuzzy or slimy texture, and especially if you can smell that musty odor, you have to trust your nose. That's your biggest clue for problem mold. So there you have it. You're now officially equipped to tell the difference between a simple cleaning job and a potential problem that needs more attention. So the real question is, now that you can spot the difference, what's your next step?